Hey, what's up, positive people? What's up, HCR fam? It's the Be Positive Music Show, and I am your host, B+. And as always, we're coming to you live right here on SiriusXM, channel 154 and Holy Culture Radio. It is March Madness season, so I hope that you guys are enjoying some of the games, some of the festivities, and all that good stuff. It's actually a pretty chilly Saturday afternoon here in the DFW area, but I didn't let that stop me. I did get outside a little bit earlier and got a little bit of yard work done. But wherever you guys are tuning in from and however you are listening, I want to thank you for making the show a part of your day. Like I just mentioned, it is March Madness season. We're about halfway through the second round. There's upsets happening left and right. This is truly one of my favorite times of the year, and I'll get into why this is one of my favorite times of the year in a few moments. But as always, I have a very dope show prepared for you guys. It's pretty straightforward, just a lot of good music, some of it old, some of it new. But one thing is for sure, we are going to have a blast. Now, I grew up in the 90s, and before playlists and before streaming and all that, you had these compilation CDs, and they would advertise them on TV, like in between, like especially on ESPN, they would have this particular advertisement for a compilation CD, and the name of the compilation CD was Jock Jams. And basically what Jock Jams was, it was a collection of the best songs that you heard at a sporting event. So what I decided to do in honor of March Madness, I wanted to put together somewhat of a Christian hip-hop version of Jock Jam. So around halftime, you're going to hear some songs that you just might hear if you're at a Christian sporting event, or if there was such a thing as a Christian sporting event. But some of these songs just may pop up in regular sporting events as well. So you want to stick around for that. And also around the halfway point of the show, I will share some stories, because kind of a fun fact, I played college basketball. I played college basketball at Wofford College down there in Spartanburg, South Carolina. They were a member, or they still are a member of the Southern Conference. So I'll get into a few stories about that at around maybe about 30 minutes from right now. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop into some music. And I think we're going to kick off today's show with a song by Brandon P. and Mission. The name of the song is God Still Good. This is the Be Positive Music Show right here on Holy Culture Radio, SiriusXM, channel 154. Don't you guys go anywhere and keep it locked.
We got to the front, but we used to be last. Keep going, I can never relax. Broke boys, remember we was down bad. Started from the bottom, now I'm thumbing through cash. Everything he doing, working out for my good. Everything he doing, working out for my good. I be in my bag, but I be in my Bible too. I be in my bag, but I be in my Bible too. You know I stay in my bag. Oh no, they loving the swag. It ain't my steal or the brag. It ain't about what I have. It ain't about what I have. That's why I stay in my word, even when life throwing curves. I gotta lean on them scriptures, trying to keep my heart pure.
I ain't never go. Spin with my dog, never step alone. I got the key like I'm never home. Standing on business, slide with the quickness. Spin on your block till I'm dead and gone. I talk to God through a megaphone. I was a gremlin, I was a villain. That's just the path I was headed on. Check the flow and...
All right, and we're back. This is the Be Positive Music Show right here on SiriusXM, channel 154 and Holy Culture Radio. It's your host here, B+, and I want to get you guys caught up with what you heard during the first quarter of today's show. Like I said, the first song goes by God Still Good. That was by Brandon P. and Mission. I really hope that they come out with a barely finished part 3. They're one of my favorite duos in this Christian hip hop space. So looking forward to that, if in fact that is coming. The next song was In My Bible, In My Bag. That was by D1. And then the third song that I played was Megaphone, and that was by Jay Monty, a lyrical beast in and of himself. So before we hop over to our second quarter of music, I do want to mention this. I meant to mention this in our intro of today's show, but I did get a chance to go to the All Things New tour by Ty Tribbett, and 1K Few is opening up for him. I really just want to come into the show today and just play nothing but all their music, because the show was phenomenal. It was a good melding between the Christian hip hop world and the gospel music world. And I'm kind of laughing here as I'm talking, just because there was a moment where 1K Few was doing his song Baptize Me, and 1K Pson was there as well. He was his hype man. And halfway through the show, when the first chorus dropped of Baptize Me, 1K Pson proceeded to spray the crowd with a bottle of water, and it was hilarious because you got church folk in there. I saw some people in some suits. I even saw a church mother hat in the building, and to see the water getting sprayed out and the crowd just gasped and collectively clutched their pearls as this happened. It was hilarious. But so shout out to 1K Pson for doing that. That was a beautiful thing to watch. I actually have that on film. So if you follow me on Twitter, I just may post that really soon. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into some more music. And speaking of Jock Jams that I was talking about earlier, a remake of sorts called It Takes Two by DJ Mike LV, produced by 1995, featuring 1K Few and Red Tips. That's the first song that I'm going to play during this second quarter of the show, and they kind of played a nod to the classic It Takes Two. So you guys keep it locked right here, the Be Positive Music Show, right here on Holy Culture Radio, SiriusXM channel 154, and we'll be right back.
And I know they probably thought I stumbled by now. Guess what I did? That's why I'm talking very humbling now. They love the kid, I wonder if they think I'm mumbling now. Since Future Kid, I've been hungry, stomach grumbling now. They taking style, now you might as well just take you a bow. They throwing shots, now you might as well just throw in the towel. I hear you hate.
Ministry is being home to see my baby walk, being available when my daughters need to talk, and telling my son being cool is a farce. I'm doing better than I ever have. My real life, Neverland. Look in the mirror and say you better win. Pray and put the effort in. Let's get it.
You don't know me, but this whole world on me stripped. Out of pride, out of lust, out of lives, out of luck. Now I know, gotta trust in this God, gotta live like he rose me from the dust. And I ain't even tell you that I didn't tell you much, so we rolling like
Taylor, what up? That's my brother, man.
It's halftime with B+. Time for that pep talk.
All right, and welcome back to the show, the Be Positive Music Show, right here on SiriusXM channel 154 and Holy Culture Radio. It's your host here, B+, and yes, you heard correctly. It is time for our halftime pep talk. But before that, let me get you guys caught up with what you just heard during the second quarter of today's show. Now, the first song, like I said, was It Takes Two. That was by DJ Mike LV, produced by 1995, featuring 1K Few and Red Tips. They both did their thing on that song. And then the next two songs are a shout out to Ohio. I'm an Ohio boy, born and raised in Cincinnati before I took off to South Carolina. So the second song that I played during the second quarter was Neverland. That was by Armand Wake Up. And then the next song I played was Walk With Me. That was by Yavez and Taylor Gray. And all three of those guys are all from Ohio, very close, if not all from the Columbus area. So shout out to Ohio, OHIO. Now let's go ahead and move on to our halftime pep talk. And like I said, March Madness brings back so many good memories. Basketball was life for 22 years, and then even after I graduated from college, I still maintain and I play multiple times a week up until when I tore my Achilles about 18 months ago, but that's neither here nor there. Now, it brings up great memories just because one of my earliest memories of the bracket is because of my dad. My dad brought home, he used to bring home the bracket every single year. And every once in a while, he would actually laminate them. And the reason why he would laminate them is because I would always take the bracket, I would fill out one that we all would collectively do as a family, but I would always take one and like act out the games in the basement, playing on like my small basket. I used to do that from like 5th grade all the way up to like, I don't know how old I was when I stopped, but I used to act out the games and be both of the teams, and it was a whole spectacle if anybody was down there watching me. But I would do that, and I remember telling my dad that I want to play for one of these teams, and I'm not sure if he actually said it or if I'm just remembering it this way, but I felt like he said something to the effect of, you have to be really good to play Division I basketball, to play for one of these teams. And like in my head, I was just like, well, I have to become very, very good at basketball because this is what I want to do. So fast forward, to make a long story short, I did end up achieving that goal and playing college ball, played at Wofford College, and I guess that was on Thursday. On Thursday, when Furman hit that last second shot against Virginia, I couldn't even really celebrate for real. I like seeing the underdog win, but at the same time, Furman was like our rival. Kind of like if Texas is playing Oklahoma or Duke is playing North Carolina, or for my Ohio people, like if Cincinnati's playing Xavier. So I was just kind of like, I just really wasn't, I guess, too excited for Furman, just because we would end up playing them in the championship had we not lost to Chattanooga the week before. Now, we beat Chattanooga twice during the regular season, but it's hard to beat a team 3 times. So Chat beat us, then Furman beat Chat, and they went to the big dance and they won. Now, kind of getting off base, like I said, like I love basketball. I can probably talk about basketball more than I can talk about CHH, but let me get to my story from when I was playing ball at Wofford. Now, it was right around this time of year, so we were on our way to go to our conference tournament, and there was a player on my team who he was just tired of the season. He was ready for it to be done. And I remember thinking, like, my one goal is just to make the big dance one time. We didn't make that goal. And one of those years, a teammate of mine, I heard him say to somebody else, "I'm just ready for the season to be over." And this is like days before we were to go down to the Charleston to play in the conference tournament. And he said, and I quote, "If we can just go in there in the first game, have a good showing, but lose and come back, I'll be happy with that." And I was just like, no, like we weren't having the best season that year, but we weren't bottom of the pack. We were like middle of the pack in the conference. But I'm thinking, like, we can get on a run. If we just win 4 games in 5 days, we can be in the big dance. And I remember in the game, actually on the court with them, and this guy wasn't somebody who didn't play a lot. This wasn't like somebody on the end of the bench. He was a part of the team. And I remember, like, during the game, like, just seeing, not seeing the fire in his eyes and being so frustrated. Like, this is our chance to go on a run. And we lost in the first round that year. We did exactly what he said. We went there the first game, we lost, and we took our butts right back home. And I was just remembering, like, that's just, like, we can't, I mean, like Herm Edwards says, like, you play to win the game. Like, you don't play for any other reason. And I tell this whole story, and to use Ruslan's words, to glue it all together. The reason why I tell that story is because I talk a lot on this show about the importance of community and having a team around you. And you can't have people like this particular person. I won't put his name out on blast. But you can't have people like that on your team who are just coasting. They're just going through, they have this, like, we're going to lose anyway mentality, so let's just go show our face and lose. Like, you can't have those people around you. You need people around you who are willing to get in the foxhole with you, who are willing to get into the huddle, who are willing to rip open that playbook, who's willing to rip open that scouting report of life and just really figuring out how to better themselves, to look themselves in the mirror and have accountability and be willing to be pushed. So just wanted to share that with you guys. And without any further ado, I feel like I'm talking super long because, like I say, I can talk ball a long time. But let's go ahead and get into this music, the Jock Jam segment, the Christian hip hop edition. We're going to kick things off with a song that goes by Another Win. It's by Swoop and KB. Don't you guys go anywhere. It's the Be Positive Music Show right here on Holy Culture Radio.
Hey, we don't play no games. We just level up. Hey, oh, we up again.
Fourth quarter. Time for some Christian R&B.
All right, welcome back to the Be Positive Music Show. It's your host here, B+, and let me get you guys caught up with what you just heard during the Jock Jam's Christian Hip Hop edition, which was the third quarter of today's show. And like I said, I'm thinking about carrying that on throughout the entire month of March, or at least while the big dance is going on. So like I was saying before the set started, the first song was Another Win. That was by Swoop and KB. The next song goes by the name of Layup, and that was by Andy Mineo and Words Played, also known as Magic and Bird. And I really am hoping that we get a Magic and Bird part 2. It doesn't have to be this year. It just needs to happen at some point. And then the third song I played was Who Gon' Stop Us Now, and that was by Derek Minor. Cannon, Tony Tillman, and just the rest of the RMG crew. So shout out to Derek Minor. He's definitely doing his thing, and he's cooking up a brand new project as well this year. And now, like I said in the intro of this set, it is time for that Christian R&B style of music. If that's your thing, you're going to love this next set. I really purposely picked out these 3 songs just because it's just really talking about searching for God and getting back to the basics, getting back to just like those fundamental things that are going to really help propel you and really push you in your relationship with Him. So I hope that you guys enjoy this next set. The first song is by one of my favorite gospel artists. He goes by the name of Jonathan McReynolds. He's on tour right now. He's coming to Arlington or just the DFW area. So I'm hoping to go to that. The name of this song is Basics. Once again, this is the Be Positive Music Show right here on Holy Culture Radio, SiriusXM channel 154. You guys keep it locked.
I can't believe that I'm back to the basics. Jumping down from the clouds, getting grounded in you. I've heard every song and Sunday word, the profound, the absurd, and I studied, cause I'm a nerd.
I've been calling out for my strength, calling out for my. You always find a way. I'm trying to get back, I'm trying to get back started. Where it started. That's where my heart is.
All right, it's your host here, B+, and this has been the Be Positive Music Show right here on Holy Culture Radio, SiriusXM channel 154. As always, I really do appreciate you guys rocking it with me here these Saturday afternoons or early evenings, depending on where you're listening from. But unfortunately, we have reached the conclusion of today's show. But before we head out of here, I do want to let you guys know what you just heard during the fourth quarter, the R&P section of today's show. The first song I played was Basics. That was by Jonathan McReynolds. The next song was Find Me. That was by Joseph Solomon. And one really quick thing about Joseph Solomon, I do understand that he has walked away from the Christian faith, but I don't necessarily believe that means we need to throw away his discography and throw away his contribution that he's made to the community. He was articulating truth at that time. He has walked away from that truth, but the truth still stands. And that's quite frankly one of my favorite songs by him. So like I said, that the second song of this set was Find Me. That was by Joseph Solomon. And then the third song goes by the name of Eden, and that's by Scribe Music and Q Flow, or it's featuring Q Flow. And one quick thing about that song, that was actually him using his voice as a saxophone on the outro of that song. It sounds crazy, but if you just go to Twitter, type in Scribe Music, I think it's at Scribe_music. I'm not sure, but if you do the research, you will find his handle on there, and he actually has a video explaining how he did that. So super dope stuff. It might even be his pinned tweet. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get on out of here. You can feel free to follow me over on Twitter. I can be found at DJ_B_plus. You can also feel free to hop over to YouTube, type in B+ music, and you should see my smiling face. Over there, I have a ton of Christian hip-hop content over there, reaction videos, album reviews, just some of my random thoughts like I have here right on the show. Actually, some of the video portions of the show I have on there as well. Also, make sure you go over to Spotify, type in Be Positive Music Show. You will find playlists, a whole bunch more over there. So make sure you guys go frequent holyculture.net for all the latest in Christian hip-hop news. And for all my Holy Culture listeners, SiriusXM listeners, I really do appreciate you guys kicking it with me here today. I am B+, and until next time, peace in, confusion out, and be positive.
Thank you.